Today I have the great pleasure of speaking with Fabrizio Macali, who is the Senior Marketing Manager for Freixenet Mionetto, two sparkling wine brands that I'm sure everyone in the audience knows. So Fabrizio, it's so lovely to have you. And I want to start by asking you, it's of course Share and Pair Sundays, springtime, people are getting together, and what do you think, what role does sparkling wine play in bringing people together?
First of all, Karen, thank you so much for having me here. And the topic is phenomenal, sparkling wine, and definitely they are the universal language for celebration.
Mm.
So even in Italy, I grew up with enjoying Prosecco, not only on Sundays or to celebrate milestones, but every day for aperitivo, a lunch or pre-dinner. We usually gather with friends and family and we enjoy a glass of Prosecco. So sparkling wines have definitely been a vehicle for people to unwind, relax, and enjoy the simple moments, right? We call it dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. And sparkling wine are definitely the vehicle to enjoy those type of moments.
I love it. The sweetness of doing nothing. You know, the very first time I ever went to Venice, I was walking down the street in the city, and the street had a lot of restaurants. It was right after work, and it seemed like the entire city was just having a glass of Prosecco on the way home. And I thought, this is just, now the Italians know how to live. I mean, it was just so great.
It's part of the culture. It's definitely something that I, as an Italian, I love doing it. It's something that I bring with me wherever I go. So even with friends now in the United States, we always stop a moment and enjoy a glass of bubbles,
Yeah.
no matter the celebration of the milestone.
Fabrizio, you know the United States, and here I think people so often associate anything bubbly with needing an occasion, needing a celebration, and I know that both Freixenet and Mionetto try really hard to counteract that message, to sort of expand the world of drinking sparkling wine. How do you do that? How do you get people to think about it as a daily beverage?
I mean, I think it's definitely important to express that no occasion is required to pop up a bottle of prosecco or a cava, and probably there is a this uh, I think misconception that popping a bottle can also be like loud, not polite, not. But it really depends on the circumstances, right? So if we have an image of consuming sparkling wine only with a sommelier that is carefully opening the bottle and pouring it, we're also sending out a message that is like, oh, champagne or prosecco are only there for those special occasions that you're going to celebrate in a very fancy restaurant. But that's not the case, because
Mm.
as Enrico Ceola, our CEO, always said, even like 25 years ago when he first came to the United States and opened the company, Prosecco is champagne in blue jeans, right? So it's something easier, something that you can enjoy every day on a daily basis. That's exactly what we do in Italy. As I said, we have Prosecco before lunch, just a glass. You don't have to finish the bottle. And same thing before dinner, because at the end of the day, sparkling wine is very, especially Prosecco, is very fresh, is very crisp. So it doesn't overwhelm you. It doesn't, stop you in having another full night or enjoy, a dinner in a separate location on with family and friends somewhere else. That glass of prosecco just ignites some happiness, right? It just makes you enjoy that moment, so that then you can transition to something else. So I don't think we require any occasion to pop open a bottle of sparkling wine, and
Yeah.
so that's what we're trying to communicate.
That is a beautiful way of thinking about it. You know, I have always wished that in the US, you know how when you do go to a restaurant, you look at the menu, you might look at the wine list, you're sitting there for a few minutes trying to figure out what should I have? And what are you having, the person that you're with? And I've always thought, what would the world be like in the United States if during that time when you're making a decision, that every restaurant in the US just gave you a glass of sparkling wine just to enjoy while you're making a decision about what you're going to do next. I think it would be a great idea. So far, no restaurant wants to give away Prosecco to every single person in their restaurant, but I still think in fact, always order a sparkling wine right away. And then I say, and now I'm going to sit and think about what I want to eat. Yeah.
I totally agree.
Do you have a favorite, given the champagne and blue jeans comment? Do you have a favorite food that you like to have along with a glass of Prosecco?
I have so many, Karen, but I'm gonna start with a couple. So I come from Rome, and therefore I love a lot. I really keen on zucchini blossom, filled with ricotta and some anchovies, and they are deep fried, but they are so hairy. It's a kind of a tempura, if you wish, and I
Mm.
do believe that prosecco pairs magnificently with them. But also eggplants, fried eggplants. So
Mm.
anything vegetables fried that is typical from Rome,
Mm.
I'm really keen on that, and I think the pairing is brilliant. But it's summer, so I think that the beautiful salad with melon and
Mm.
prosciutto also is a perfect match with prosecco for sure, because the
Mm.
sweetness of the melon and the saltiness of the prosciutto are really like they goes perfectly together.
I was thinking yesterday about the idea of perfect pairings and thinking that I wonder if psychologically pairing this pairs with that, if that for some Americans anyway is kind of worrisome. They don't know exactly what would pair, what X should go with what Y. And I thought maybe instead of the word pairing, we should say something like accompanying. This could be, you could drink this while you're eating that, which would mean that you were doing it simultaneously, but it didn't have to be a perfect pairing. You didn't have to know anything to do it. You could, have, as you say, a salad with a glass of Prosecco as opposed to a certain salad paired with. I don't know, it's a slight change of words, maybe. But when I watch people drink, especially Prosecco, which is so popular here, I don't think they feel like they have to pair it technically, if you know what I mean.
No, I totally see, and it's all about the way you frame, right? So it's the power of framing that we are discussing. And what I have seen in the years now, it's been 7 years and a half that I am with the company. I somehow have seen an evolution. So there is a little bit more education about the pairing, if you wish. But I totally agree with you that uh, there is not much emphasis sometimes on what to pair, and people just follow their heart. If you like
Mm,
prosecco, you're gonna drink prosecco and then pair it with whatever, even
right.
with meat or with a second with a main course, right? And vice versa. I have seen friends drinking red wines with seafood, and you know that's okay if that's what you like. At the end of the day, that's what makes you happy. Just go for it. Just be aware of some little rules that,
Yeah.
for instance, that the red wine, maybe should be a very light red wine, a little bit chilled, right? Maybe that's gonna be still a great pairing. So rules are nice, but at the same time, we don't have to forget that wine is enjoyment. Wine is all about what you like and what the person with you likes. So there should never be a stuffy environment around it, but it should be always enjoying the moment with the people you are with. And so go for whatever they like or you like.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at your bottle of Mionetto here, and even the bottle, just this bright colors, sort of says, just grab me, open me, have fun. I mean, it's, not a very standard white classical label. Um, and so even I think subliminally, it sends the signal of have fun, just, open and pour. Very easy to do.
No, totally. And the obliqueness is actually a very unique characteristic of our label because it recalls the slopes of Valdobbiadene, which are inclined in 27th degree angle. That's the reason why Mionetto has the oblique label, right? And the
Right.
color orange is a color of, is a vibrant, is positivity, is creativity. So resemble the Italian way of living, our essence, if you wish, which is exactly what you said. It's really a vibrant, a radiant color.
I think it's much easier to drink Prosecco than to say Valdobbiadene, actually.
But you said it once again, your pronunciation is impeccable, I have to say.
It is. This is the region, for everyone who's watching, this is the very famous, beautiful region in northern Italy that is famous for its Prosecco. And Valdobbiadene is the main little village there in the region. Um, so tell me about, one of the things that I love about all sparkling wine is I love bubbles. In fact, I know every now and then a sommelier wants to decant a bottle of sparkling wine. I'm like, no, 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 I want those bubbles. Because to me, and here's your Prosecco, which I'm drinking. Um, to me, you get a kind of total sensory experience, right? You're feeling it. You're feeling all that energy from the bubbles, in addition to the flavors, the aromas. Oh, you're going to open this bottle. Great. Okay, Fabrizio, I'm watching.
Think about the sensory, right? So let's open
Oh,
up.
the sound, right. See how loud you're going to do it. Oh, very quietly. Okay.
Because I really actually wanted to enjoy
I'm,
this moment with you. So
yeah. Okay.
I try to, I'm gonna put it here. But salute.
Salute. Very good. Delicious. So, what is your? I want to say to everyone that we have a little consumer who has joined us. He's actually not going to be tasting the Prosecco. He's just adding, color commentary here and there. But what's your thought about? I think a lot of people in America love using Prosecco to make bellinis in the summer, to make really refreshing cocktails. Are you, do you feel like, no, no, you should drink it just when it's pure, or are you cool with the cocktail idea?
I grew up as a Prosecco purist.
Mm.
That's the way I consume it. That's the way I like it. Um, but I have to say that during the years, definitely my also interest and appetite for spritzes has
Mm.
definitely become more and more prominent, especially when the spritz is done the right way and you use for your spritz a prosecco that is a brut style, like our prosecco, because that's is the, in my opinion, is the most important thing. Meaning, to make the perfect spritz, you gotta follow the rules. Really simple, as counting 3, 2, 1, which means 3 parts of prosecco, 2 parts of a bitter liqueur. You can choose whatever because Italy, we have different recipes for food as well as for spritzes. It depends on the region. You can use a limoncello, right? Or you
Mm.
can use another liqueur. You can use an elderflower liqueur. You can use a bitter. So not necessarily need to stick with the classic. And then you need 1 part of sparkling water or soda, right?
Right.
So the star ingredient in the spritz is the prosecco because it's gonna be is the one liquid that is the majority, right, in the glass. So if your prosecco is an extra dry, that will be a little bit sweeter. So we don't want that. because you want balance. Balance is the key in drinks. And therefore, a brut style like Mionetto would be perfect. So definitely my appetite for cocktails, Prosecco-based cocktails has definitely increased because they are low in in alcohol, in sweetness, so you can enjoy
Right.
more, and you can spend more time with your friends, right? Enjoying 3, 4 spritzes. And that's also the reason why I love Prosecco, because it's very light and refreshing. You can drink multiple glasses without feeling, overwhelmed, or you can just keep enjoying it with your friends and family.
And something you were saying earlier reminds me of that idea, because every study about food talks about how for quite a long time now we've all been moving to lighter and lighter foods, more vegetable and plant-based diets. And so, I'm coming to you from the Napa Valley, where the wines are big and red, and you really want a steak on your plate. But I don't think that's how most Americans are eating every night. I think most people who are health conscious are trying to move toward fresher, lighter, more vegetable-based meals. And so Prosecco sparkling wine fits so well in that context.
Yeah, I totally agree, Karen. And I think that's one of the probably key success reason behind Prosecco, because it's very light and refreshing, and it goes well with anything that is not too heavy. Even the aging on the sparkling wine definitely gives a little toastiness to the wine, so it makes them a little bit more heavy, if you wish. While Prosecco being a Charmat method, and for everyone on the line, the Charmat method is basically a shorter method to do the second fermentation. Uh, it really makes Prosecco very delicate, light, crisp, and that definitely pairs well with a lot of foods that became popular. And that's also why I think is the star ingredient in the spritz cocktail, who became extremely popular, because all of a sudden you can enjoy a cocktail that is not too heavy, that is balanced because it's a little bit bitter, but also a little bit sweet. So there is a perfect balance, and it goes well with a lot of summerish food, from salads to little fry snacks. I mentioned before the zucchini blossom, but
That's
we
a
can even think about chips. Really simple. In Italy, one of the most served food with an aperitivo, with a glass of prosecco, with a spritz, is actually a bowl of chips or nuts, salty nuts. That's what it is. So something simple, something light, because at the end of the day, we then have a lunch probably home with mama and nonna who have cooked a 3 hours long lunch, right? So we don't want to get overwhelmed. We want to stay light. But definitely there is a trend in consuming low or light beverages, for sure.
Yes. Well, I wish I had a nonna, an Italian nonna, a grandmother, to whom I was going home tonight to have something that she spent 3 hours cooking. But that reminds me to say, just lastly, that I actually think that to me, a cooking wine is the wine you drink when you're cooking. It's not what you pour in the pot. And I sometimes hear people say, "Oh, I hate to cook, and I'm tired when I go home." And I look forward to cooking every night, and I think it's because it's a quiet time. I'm thinking about the food, but I'm having a glass of wine at the same time. And so that becomes just a little way of easing into the evening, chopping vegetables, drinking something delicious. It's a wonderful tradition. It's one of my favorite times to drink wine is when I'm cooking.
I love cooking, Karen. I can't even tell you how much I love. And I was cooking when I was in Italy. I'm cooking now. It had always been part of my family. My great grandmother was a cook. I come from a line of, um, a family that was in the food industry. So it's really part of the culture. And the process is even better than the moment you enjoy it. If I think about my mom or my nonna on Sundays, they spend probably something between 5 and 6 hours cooking. But for them, is that process. It's everything because during the process, nephews and nieces are gonna come visit, and they're gonna steal some little thing, and those are the memories that you create. And so you actually see the tricks of that dish. So, and these are the memories that you're gonna bring with you forever, and that's when memories are created. And then during the lunch is the moment you actually, it goes fast, right? Because everybody's here, it really goes fast, but the preparation is everything. And obviously, every time I open a bottle of wine, 100%, and generally is a bottle of either Prosecco or white wine, mainly because, I mean, especially during summer, it's actually really seasonal. I have to say, even red wine can comes in, especially during winter time, on a cozy Sunday dinner prepping. But yes, I think drinking while prepping is one of the most interesting and intriguing habits that we have. Definitely, definitely.
Slows you down, makes you really appreciate the process as and of course all sparkling wines are so about the process. I mean, they're not only about the grapes, of course, and the region, but also it's a very painstaking, longer process than making many still wines. And so I'm always reminded of the tradition of the work behind making a great sparkling wine, as I myself am making maybe even a simple dish. But Fabrizio, thank you so much for talking with us today. We're really happy that Freixenet Mionetto is part of Share and Pair Sundays and Come Over October. We really thank you for that. And it's a pleasure to taste this wine with you. Thank you.
No, Karen, thank you. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for this beautiful time together. I think we spoke about many beautiful things around wines and the way we share it and we enjoy it with others. And I think let's toast to that. Salute.
Salute.